Hey, there you are. This is Colt. Again, Spit and Text Upholstery. Been asking about more more tracing videos. So, tracing videos. A pen. Get yourself a couple pieces of 4x8 USB particle board that you can cut up into pieces that you can use for individual tracing patterns. Like this one, this is the big weird piece, okay? I got a long piece that just goes down the middle. You've already ironed it out real good. We did this in the last video. Now I'm going to show you. Remember when we cut all of these out, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, so I'll clear my throat a little bit. Eating cough drops, living life. But if you look at the edge of that, see that stitch? Well, we cut that off. Remember, this had foam in it that was sewn around the edges. It wasn't glued like we do it here at Spit and Text. That's factory stuff. Boom, boom. They're pumping that stuff out. And when you get your stuff redone for the first time, that was a pine beetle that flew by the camera. Yeah, we're out here in the woods. But live and let live for now. But I got a swatter. I get them when I can. You have to add that 1/8 of an inch back on, or even a fat 1/8 of an inch, because you'll always have to remember when you tear these seats apart, how were they sewn together? Most of them are sewn together. 1/4 inch is pushing it on a lot of these inside curves, okay, where these panels are. That 1/2 inch sew allowance goes out the window. I like to do it, and then I relief cut all the way around. I keep my 1/2 inch. Or they might have cut it off, but I doubt it by the way that the pattern was revealed. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. I know it's a lot. I don't want to give you too much. This is basically tracing. So when you're tracing, okay, if you'll notice, this one big, huge, long rectangle piece, okay, I put it in the middle of the main body. So how I did it was I laid it down, I picked it up, and then I grabbed this end and I scooched it back just enough. So you want to elongate these patterns but not distort them. Key, elongate but do not distort. And then be mindful of how it lays. You've already ironed it out. This is already ironed. And once you iron it once, you don't got to come back if it wrinkles up on the edge or something like that. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that your vinyl is flat as a pancake, and it is. Okay, now, this was, I moved it while I was talking, but this gives you the general idea. Okay, and then you have your floating rulers, okay? So you use them like this, boom. You know, you'll pick a spot. I chose where it stopped. I elongated wherever the pattern ends. Don't worry about it if it's too long. Like down here, see down here? I left it long. It doesn't matter, that's tucked to under. So where you start measuring is where the stitch count ends. So I started there and I went 4. See that? And I nicked a 4. I came down here, I nicked a 4, I nicked a 4, I nicked a 4. Remember, what do I always say? Oh, you see that? I got him. Ha ha. Pine beetles, little devils. Ron Pearson, witness marks are your friends. Always remember that. So that's what that is. So you create your own witness marks and always do this, okay? And then they will correspond to the panel that fits into this valley on each side. But for now, trace out your pattern, get it correct, get it flat, make sure it's elongated enough. It's not going to come up short. These boards help that come to pass. And then go through and, you know, pick, I don't care if it's 3, whatever is comfortable for you, but 4 is a good one for me. It's a rule of thumb with me, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, all the way around. And, okay, so another thing with tracing patterns. Now watch this. See, I'd moved it. I've already traced the pattern, so it doesn't matter. But notice, okay, this is a panel that goes down inside here. You see that? This fits down in here. And when I trace that, I'll add that extra 1/8 of an inch around that. But for now, like when you're coming down, when you're inside a curve, always try to push away from you. You're pivoting on your hand. Push away. Even lines. Push away. Try to push away from you. Okay? And then when you come back and you go to cut, you're going to see if you got a little squiggle here and there, you're going to know to just run through it. Pick your course. It's a weird little science that you'll get the hang of after a while. It is in no book. I don't know where it's recommended, but you get in where you fit in. You take these things apart and you retrace these patterns. Show me another person doing these videos. Not like I'm looking for acclaim, but all I know is I know what you're going to run into. And it's this. This is real-time stuff. So like I said, you spray it down. You saw that one video, how I ironed everything out. I weighted it down with these same kinds of boards and whatever, a jug of water, an iron, a piece of steel rebar. And then let it sit for 6 minutes. Take it off. Use that starch that I mentioned. And that's why it's still holding its shape. It's because of that starch too. And when there's little bubbles, little wrinkles, they just lay flat with the hand or with the floating ruler. Look at that. So these are tricks, and you will be successful every single time. And key how you're freehanding these. You're adding. Okay, how much did I cut off? Make sure you cut off the same amount from everything. The only reason that we cut this pattern like we did is because of the foam. And you don't want to sit there with your seam ripper and just, beat yourself to death. Time is money in this industry, especially when you're working alone like me. I'm the only journeyman here. I don't have 5 novices walking around behind me picking up or tracing and foaming and cutting. So when you're alone, make it count. One shot, one kill, always, okay? Find your balance, find your gait, and be harmonious with what you do. Got to get Jesus in your heart, you'll do even better. So when you're kicking and punching and swinging, make sure that you stand firm. Cut once, measure 4 times. Witness marks are your friends. These little additives will save your bacon. Upholstery? Upholstery's quick. Getting to the upholstery project is this. This is an upholsterer, slaving over patterns, slaving over foam, cutting, perfection, everything lines up. And then you get in, you delve into your machines. So this is the fight that you've chosen to do. And this is what will make you the person they call every single time. And don't let them get you all flustered. Keep your tail feathers clean and twitching in the wind, because I'll tell you, rushing ain't going to get you nowhere. You just tell them, hey, I'm an artist. I'm an artiste. And it takes as long as it takes, but I'll give you a general idea. That's what you tell them. Nobody wants to wait forever, but they got to time it throughout the year, and the end of the year, basically after boating season's over, is when they, if they're smart, that's when they want to bring it in. They don't have to worry about it. Like this is my buddy Ron. I probably should have had this done, but I've been making these videos and they slow me down. So that's the only reason. I'm a machine, but I'm juggling 3 boats with this. This isn't just Ron. I have 2 other boats. So this is 3 total. And I don't have time for videos for those. You got to pick your battles. So I got to get Ron done. But Ron's is what everyone's asking about. They want to know about the pattern swooshes, and the other ones I'm doing are real basic. They're block work, and you know, a lot of, you know, like the party barge I'm doing, it's just block. There's no pizzazz in it. So that's why I'm dragging my feet on Ron's project and doing the video, and I'll love him up in the end. You know, maybe I'll, you know, I'll always do something nice for somebody that keeps coming back and knocking on my door. But so when you're tracing these patterns, remember, you cut these boards to fit. Get yourself a little cordless skill saw, a little 10-inch blade. And boom, boom, boom. You see how I niched these out right here? These are all my witness marks. Witness marks are your friends. So this is the main body, okay? So now I'll show you one more, and then we're gonna kill this video. How much time do we have left?
Oh, I'd say about 15 minutes.
Okay, so we're good, according to my lovely Vanna White wife. Okay, so we're gonna take this and move this back here. Okay, so we're gonna come back. You notice how the underside, remember, I know I'm skipping around, squirreling off, but remember, when we're done, when you're done with your patterns and you're happy with it, okay, when you're tracing it out, like I just showed you, then you come back, okay? And it's kind of funny. Look how long I've been doing this. I almost naturally did it where they go. It's kind of funny, but so right bottom, 2 dots. Remember the dots I told you about? 3 dots, 4 dots, top, a plus mark. You know what I mean? You have to duplicate all of this onto this within that margin to where you know there's no mistaking. When sometimes you'll do pieces where there's 18 pieces to one seat, and there's a plus with a 0 and a hash. I mean, you get creative. You know, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, on down the chain. I like the circles. You'll get confused and you could get lost. So anyway, remember to mark left, right, back, top, bottom. You know, the witness marks doesn't matter as much because you did them as you traced it out. And that'll be something that you'll wind up doing automatically. So you'll backtrack a little bit, but it ain't a big deal. Okay, so that's our main body. And then again, excuse me, I don't want to try to tell you to do something wrong. When you lay a pattern out until you can get back to it, lay it out flat like this. And lay it out kindly, just in case you are mistaken, you did something wrong, you have to backtrack, you have to, what did I do? Not saying that's going to happen. Yeah, but, so you want to be an upholsterer, huh? The dying art of upholstery. And you don't have to hang your head to do this trade. Okay, so this is our main body. Okay, we're moving on. So, another thing, as you can see, I am maximum usage. Look how close I am to these margins, okay? Factory edges, whatever you want to call them. This is factory edge. This is just a cut relief, but I'm using every square inch because what is a square inch? A square inch is yardage. And what is yardage? Yardage is money, and this stuff is not free. This particular is $26.50 a yard. So, I know that I can't come in like this. You know, get in where you fit in. So I'm going to come in. So this is the only waste on this pattern, is this middle piece here. See, over here. These are the main panels that go in here, but they don't fit to trace. So, little pieces of that particle board. So you get in where you fit in. You know, get as close as you can. Because this is once you do the one and you start butting up to the next one, this one ain't going nowhere. This is your rock solid forever, okay? But always remember to add. Mark them if you have to. Add 1/4. And then get into circles with arrows. So that means entire perimeter, except for the back, because you'll know that's where it staples to the bottom. So it's just one around. But those are things that will remind you. You'll know your own witness marks. Those are characteristic marks, not just witness marks, little hash marks. That's a characteristic. It's your gig. You know how to remind yourself. You'll be more familiar with your own hash marks than, trying to use a numeral or something like that. So anyway, this is me tracing out a pattern with my rulers. You did not see me do this, but you saw how I weighted it down. On OSB, there's a shiny side, okay? Industry dictates that faces outwards because that's where the Tyvek goes on it. Anyway, put that down and that'll keep from these booger balls getting on. There's a shiny side. You can move it around. And it won't, little splinters so you got to wipe off. So anyway, look, you don't give yourself, that it's almost a 1/4 inch shy, so give yourself enough room. Okay? These are the other two patterns. Let's see, we have 4 left for this seat. Those are just anchors. Remember the anchors that go down inside of here, actually right here? These anchors tuck inside the frame that all of this lays over. Those can float. Those don't have to be perfect. They just have to have the same, and they have to have the same width. They can be as long as you want. You can pull them over. Once you start stapling them, you just cut the salvage off. It's not a big deal. Don't overthink your anchors, ever. Just make sure that they're the right width. So once again, this will be the end of the video. Remember, we were like 1/8 of an inch. So, you use this as it contours. So you can see the stitch mark here that comes around, okay? So what I do is that, like on this instance, I would start right here and I would come up just under a 1/4 inch and I would drag it towards me. And then as you see how the stitch mark changed, then I'll just slowly elongate it around there. But you see how consistent I can be when I'm dragging it towards me? So always try to drag it towards you, okay? Or drag it around and in. And then if you have to go up and over, you use that ruler and push that fabric down. Make sure, always look around you. Look beside you, look to your left, your right, your left. And make sure that you're not distorting anything while you're concentrating on one piece. That's just human nature. You'll forget what you're doing. Everything has to be flat and it cannot move. So this is tracing. This is tracing. Be patient and be mindful and just orderly. Everything orderly, orderly. Don't get in a hurry and start leaning into stuff and no, what am I doing? What's underneath me? What's beside me? Okay, how are my arms laying? I want to lay flat and then trace. I know it sounds corny and mundane, but this is how you pull it off. There's no other way. I mean, you got to love this up. Okay, so anyway, and the board keeps the piece from moving, hopefully. Okay, but it can slide. So we'll come up here, and once again, I'm going to start on the top. I follow my stitch count. Okay, I see it up there. And I know how much I cut off. So if I drag it towards me, you see how straight that is? That's money. Always try to drag it towards you. Wah-bah! Kung Fu Louie. You got to do your Kung Fu Louie or you're going to lose, Louie. So you got to drag it towards you. Always remember that, okay? And then use your little ruler just to keep it flat. Make sure that you lay down on the vinyl correctly and just consistent drags. Consistent drags. Don't try to draw nothing. Consistent drags. Bam. Drag your pinky if you have to. Like this. You see how I'm doing this? right? Come on. You can do this. Look at that. Boom. Straight line. I mean, that ain't no ruler, but it sure as heck looks like a ruler. So, this is how you do this. I'm not going to kick your butt and drag you through all of this. When you're rounding those corners, know how to hold your hand. I just showed you. That's the Kung Fu Louie right there. You follow your pattern. Keep it weighted down. If you have to put a weight on it, put a weight on it. Whatever. Get as close as you can to the other pattern. Get every square inch of this stuff that you can, because it costs money and it's going to cost you money. So it cuts into your profit margins. And the way the economy's going, and well, I don't got to tell you guys nothing. You know, small business, mom and pop shops like this, we are the canary in the coal mine for the heartbeat of America. America! Support your local police, your firemen, write your congressmen, senators. Let your voice be heard so we can exist. I think we should exist. I think we've earned the right to exist. We're Americans. You know, apple pie and Chevrolet and praise the Lord every day is my motto. So these tasks that we acquire from our trades, you know, they reflect directly on the fabric of America, because you got to get up early, you got to put the work in, you got to put the brain power in, the artistry, the love. Where's the love? Where's the love? Where's the love? Come on. Jesus is all about love. You keep on his team, he'll love you back. Because if you don't work, you don't deserve to eat. Sorry. Nothing's free. Just him. So moving on. That's it for this video. And thank you. I'm Colt. Spit and Tax Upholstery from Spokane, Washington. We're out here in Airway Heights. Moving mountains. Loving God. And loving you guys up too. So I'm going to try to get some more done. We got to finish Ronnie's his last two seats. I'm going to try to get this sewed up tonight. Try to do another video later. I'm going to cut this out. You already seen me wield the foam. This I might do a video with this main body again to show you how to put foam on a big piece of fabric like this. Again, it's not going to kill you to learn. These are mundane steps, and that's what this is. This is mundane overkill, okay? And I get to talking quick. I'm sorry sometimes, but try doing this. This ain't easy, these videos. It's very odd. So, thank you for your time. Like and subscribe. I'll see you around like I'm doing it.